kind of implicit in everything we've talked about, particularly for patients with diabetes or proteinuria. We've had a standard regimen of drugs using an angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor or an angiotensin receptor blocker. Drugs like lisinopril and losartan have been the standard kit for 20 years. And we know that if we're using these drugs at good dosages, we can reduce the risk of progression up to 30%, particularly in our patients with proteinuria, as we mentioned. But in the last really 2 to 3 years, we've seen a sea change in options for preventing the progression of chronic kidney disease. And this has been a class, the SGLT2 inhibitors, as well as a new drug in an old class called finerenone, which is a cousin to drugs like spironolactone. What's exciting about these drugs is that they can reduce the progression by an additional 30% from that seen by using the standard of care already. In other words, for patients that are already on an ACE inhibitor or an ARB, if you add an SGLT2 inhibitor to these patients, particularly with type 2 diabetes or those with proteinuria, even without diabetes, it seems that we can reduce the progression of these renal events like dialysis dependence or doubling of serum creatinine by 30%. We haven't had anything like that in 30 years. That was really exciting. Finerenone, which is again a mineralocorticoid receptor antagonist similar to spironolactone, reduces progression by 16%. All we'd be talking about was finerenone if this exciting information hadn't happened with these other oral hypoglycemic drugs, the SGLT2 inhibitors. So this is a really exciting time. We have new therapies in addition to the old ones. So identifying patients with CKD is very important now, perhaps more than ever, because of these new tools we have.